The disciples have been out on the mission trail 2 by 2. From the previous story last Sunday of John the Baptist's fatal fate, these same disciples know full well the dangers and challenges at every bend along the trail. Now they return to gather around Jesus to report back about all they had done and taught. And Jesus says to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while." This word comes to the disciples as sweet music to their ears. Now they all can take a deep breath. Finally, a chance for a little peace and quiet. But oh my, some break. There is no rest for the weary. The call to faithful service keeps coming. The needs of the world keep avalanching into the midst of the disciples. Jesus tries to move away from the crowds and the critics, but the crowds keep following. They want more from the Master, more teaching and more healing. The disciples had to have felt disappointed. They are dog-tired. How can we face more people? Jesus, we need to maintain a safe professional distance for our own sanity. Come on, we need time with you, just with you. And besides, we're sick and tired of seeing pain and suffering, death and disease, down in the dumps, people in despair. We're saturated with it. So how does Jesus respond to his disciples? Does he back off and do his own thing? No. Thy will be done on earth is his constant word and commitment to the Father. Jesus' heart goes out to the needy crowds. He has compassion for them because they are like sheep without a shepherd. No good shepherd will go away without making physical and spiritual provision for the care of the sheep. Jesus sees their collective and personal needs and responds despite the fact that the gathering is not on his date book. After all, human hurt is never scheduled or neatly programmed. This, then, is the quandary that we find ourselves in when we hear this text this morning, brothers and sisters. Yes, we are the crowd, the sheep in need of the Good Shepherd's care and teaching and nurturance. And we are also apostles sent out as Jesus' under-shepherds to care for the crowds in our own neck of the woods. This then is the quandary. We are both the needy and the needed. We are tied to the tightrope between ministering and being ministered unto. Back in 1983, when I was a college student, I worked as a summer camp counselor at Lutheran. That's an interesting name for a Lutheran camp. Our ELCA camp near Asheville, North Carolina. I worked there 2 full summers. That summer, the theme song for the camp curriculum went something like this. Weave us together Weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together, together in love.
Bravo.
What a great theme song. But toward the end of the summer, our counselor's stamina and energy had begun to fizzle out. The homesick kids, the insecure teenagers, the washing of urine-drenched sleeping bags of special needs campers had sapped our energy and inspiration to serve those around us. And so, with some compassion fatigue, we sarcastically rewrote the camp theme song and sang it with the voice of Elmer Fudd. Weave, weave, weave us alone. It is precisely the indefatigable compassion of Jesus, his own heart, continually going out to the crowds and to us, that enables us to sing the proper lyrics once again. Weave, weave, weave us together in unity and love. God's own compassion revealed in Jesus serves as the basis and source for our own works of compassion in God's world. As we are united with Jesus through baptism in his life, death, and resurrection, so we are all woven together into the suffering and needs of all God's children from Newtown to Nepal. As we see the heart of God going out to all humanity on an old rugged cross, we can feel the pain and joy of others in our own hearts, even though our hearts often tend to resist the painful interruptions of a needy world. Brothers and sisters, it is forever a challenge to balance ministering and being ministered to. To use Henry Nouwen's terminology, we are all wounded healers. We are all both needy and needed alike. It is always a challenge to balance the love commandment, loving neighbor, and loving self. But amid our struggles to balance activity and rest, serving and being served, we need to keep in mind that we are in the company and tender loving care of Christ, who is our perfect shepherd and source of peace and deep serenity. We need not fall into grueling worry when we can't do it all and keep all the plates spinning in the air all the time. We need not suffer oppressive guilt when we feel like we haven't done enough. God's grace is enough. God's grace is sufficient. God's forgiving presence is a powerful and freeing thing, brothers and sisters. Yes, we strive to minister even as we have been ministered to, sharing the blessings in this wonderful interdependence that we all share as the people of God. Christ alone is the source of our salvation, and Christ alone is our lasting peace. And all of us, at the end of the day, sit at the foot of the cross in need of God's grace and sustenance. Assured of that, we can work and serve with vigor and purpose. And we can also enjoy the freedom and refreshment of needed Sabbath rest. Jesus says, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest